Hello everyone and welcome to Curio TV, where I will ramble and show off random curious items that I've come across while thrifting. Hopefully you enjoy this, whether it puts you to sleep or you just enjoy watching people go on and on about things they found and come across. So I'm going to show you in each episode a wide variety of curious objects I've come across, and you as the audience will just sit back and relax. So we're going to start with our first item that we've come across, which is this cool bottle. This bottle has some markings on it that look very potion-y. Or kind of mysterious, and definitely got vintage stamping on the bottom there. So that was a cool bottle, and I had to have that. Just reminds me of a potion bottle or whatever. Next I'm going to choose this cool piece of pottery. And this is a signed piece of pottery. I believe that says Stanley Studio on the bottom. Really cool. This was made by Susan, and it comes from Prince Edward Island, and Prince Edward Island is the smallest province in Canada, and it's known for its potatoes, its red soil because of the iron content. It's also the birthplace of Lucy Maud Montgomery, who wrote Anne of Green Gables, of course. If you've never been to Prince Edward Island, I totally recommend that you research it, look it up, and pay a visit, because it is quite a quaint province, not far from my own. I'm in the east coast of Canada, and yeah, I enjoy exploring and finding new items, and basically I like to buy and sell cool things I find. This is really neat. This is a clay hand-painted scene. The art style looks Mexican, based off the art style and the architecture on the actual vase looks Mexican, which is it. Unfortunately, this isn't signed, but I would bet that this would be a piece of Mexican pottery. And of course, any viewer that knows a little better than me, because everything I get, I've stumbled upon, right? So if I'm ever wrong, please just write in the comments there and correct me, because I do want to know exactly what I found. And sometimes we'll never find out what I've discovered. So this is a really nice piece of pottery, and some of you may know this style. I have a couple other pieces in my crates that that match the same style, so I'll bet that they are from the same area or studio. This one is marked 94, so this would be a 29-year-old. As the date of recording this is a 29-year-old vase here. Very nice styles on it. Got this desktop letter holder, which is really neat. That can hold your stuff on your desk like that. items like that. Cool. I thought that was super neat. I was like, huh, for $2, I think I'll buy that. And we have that plaster dog. He was $3, and he's made in Japan. Okay, it looks to be hand painted. And yeah, he was neat. I just couldn't pass him up. I also, so I collect stuff. I'm amassing a collection to one day have a tangible brick and mortar store. But, you know, this is something I do on the side for fun. I enjoy doing this. And there we go. There's two of the same style vases. I see feathers here, but you might see something different. Maybe you see leaves or something, but very kind of cool decorative vases. They have like a raised texture. Kind of reminds me of popcorn ceiling. You know what I mean? It's kind of neat. This next item might ring a bell for a few of you. It is the Grand Canyon in Arizona. Oh, I'm going to go backwards. Let me backtrack. I didn't mention, I believe that this is Arizonan pottery. And I'm saying that because I do remember that I have a very similar style, two pieces of pottery that come from, I want to say Arizona. So if I'm wrong on this, please write in the comments. Just correct that. Because, you know, this is just an adventure for all of us to just kind of look and explore and discuss the curious objects that come my way. So this, like I said, might ring a bell for you guys. It's a souvenir from the Grand Canyon in Arizona. Pretty neat. Cool little collector's piece, if that's your thing. I found this guy for $2.99, and it is copper, and it is the continent of Africa with a copper elephant and then some sort of animal fur, and then the two copper spears crossing each other. Just show you the texture there. I loved it. I thought that is a cool, curious piece. So, and like it's got a little thing to hang up if you want. But yeah, that was $2.99. Cool little piece. And this teeny tiny teapot. Just a little too cute not to buy. So you got that. You put your herbs, your tea leaves in there, of course. So I don't know if I can pick it up on camera here, but this is. I gotta look really close. Hold on. Martha something, and it's marked NS, which for you Canadians or those of you that know Canadian geography, NS stands for Nova Scotia, which is pretty nautical province in the east coast of Canada. Its main city is Halifax. I would say that, you know, out of all the cities in that east coast area, Halifax would probably be the most major of those cities. So if you've never seen Nova Scotia, I totally recommend that you check it out because it's definitely worth the visit. If you love beaches and if you love scenic drives and history, definitely check out Nova Scotia for sure too. I'm going to talk about my knowledge of the East Coast provinces, which is my home, in my videos too. Some of the pottery does come from there, the East Coast, the Atlantic Canada region. For example, this one. This comes from Prince Edward Island again. I love collecting PEI pottery. They've got high iron in their soil, which makes for their soil to be red. And with that, with the high iron content, you can take a white t-shirt and dye it this maroonish brown red color, and it's called a PEI dirt shirt, and it's one of our most famous tourist items. I couldn't pass this up. I found this handmade. It looks like a cookie jar because of the seal, but really it could be any kind of storage jar. Betak. I want to say Batak is the signed artist. This was a little pricier at $9.99 Canadian. We're getting down there, folks. Appreciate you watching this. This was a decorative plate that I picked up that had a little leather strap here to hang it up decoratively. But as I was holding it, it had rotted away and fell. So I'm going to replace that with probably a piece of decorative twine. There. And for you bibliophiles, I picked up a copy of Scary Stories 3, More Tales to Chill Your Bones, which I don't know how many of you are familiar with this, but I mean, there are some really classic stories that I think many people from my demographic would read, or at least look at the terrifying pictures that are in there. I remember sitting in the school library and just poring over these the gruesome pictures, really, which is by Stephen Gamble. The books are by Alvin Schwartz. Stephen Gamble, phenomenal in his very macabre art style that really captures and disturbs the audience member. So I think the darkness and how shocking the artwork is for what's supposed to be a children's book, or teens will say, that really kind of draws the reader in. So I want to say that the shock value of that artwork kind of brought me into the stories. So that's a interesting little novel that came up, or book, I guess, collection of short stories that I had to pick up. Have to have a copy of this, because I mean, it's for people that were born within 1980s to now, you know that these are kind of part of our childhood, I suppose, because most of these folklore stories, you've heard from a friend of a friend, or you know a variation of that story. So yeah, I definitely had to pick up a copy of this. So that is our first episode of Curio TV. I hope you enjoyed my rambling. If not, well, hey, this isn't for you. And if you did, hey, that's awesome. I appreciate it. Basically, every episode will be like this. Of course, like and subscribe, which will help the channel. And yeah, there'll be lots more, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.